Hi. Well, we're just on time. That's amazing.
Woohoo!
Okay. First of all, sort of some housekeeping. When I posted the thing about past lives, I said people in the comments would get first go. And usually I get 6, 8 maybe. I got 33 when I cut it off at 11:45 this morning. And the reason I cut it off then is that gives me a chance to put the comments into banners. You guys have no idea what goes on before the show.
Yeah.
And I did Scott's show this morning, and then I did that. And if you didn't watch Scott's show this morning, I went and saw the Ancient Aliens place where the people talked about that. So I kind of had a full day yesterday, and I'm having a very full day today. So I'm seeing a lot of people, a lot of new names. I want you to know I really am a very polite lady, and I'm not mean. But when I try to give preference to people who give me a heads up and help me get organized. And so with that, no, Vicky Howell, you're in here. Your question's coming up, but you were cutting it close, girl. Um, I mean, I had 4 people who posted things 19 hours ago. Well, that would now be 20 some hours ago.
Right.
So, hi to everybody. I don't name check people unless it's my foreign visitors, and I don't mean foreign from space. I mean like Finland. Um, so,
We're
so
from Canada. Hi.
Canada. Well, my Canadian cousins. I mean, what can I say? In case you think I'm making that up, my parents were both born in Canada. So we're gonna go, and Kelly. I'm sorry, God, how rude. We've been sitting here talking, so everybody knows Kelly's here.
It's me, Kelly. So I want to say thank you for the invite. And this may seem strange. It seems a little strange to me that I'm not working the controls. So if I start moving buttons around, nothing will happen. I might knock myself out of the studio, but normally this is my show that I do on my own channel at 3 p.m. on Sundays. So today I'm here with Nancy Jean doing the past life readings, and I love it. So thank you everyone for being here.
I will name check one person. Laura Newby's in the hospital being treated for MRSA. So everybody send lots of love and light to her.
Blessings to you, Laura.
Yeah.
Much love.
And she got snatched away by physical therapy yesterday, so she couldn't be in the garden class. And she wrote me a letter. I'm so sorry I wasn't there. I'm like, oh, shoot. Are you kidding me?
Right.
Okay. We're going to move the table in front. There's 3 ways I read past lives. I use past life gardens. I have a very long, complicated past life reading I do, which will give you a lot more detail on any life we spot for you. What we're going to do, unless I need to use the table, I'm going to be doing some real, what I call quick and dirty. Well, it's how I started learning past lives. I'm going to do, I'm going to do that, and I have a pendulum here. I have this. This is a beautiful tiger's eye pendulum that comes with this oracle garden. And if you're interested in it, contact me, and I'll send you to the lady who invented this. And if it looks suspiciously like my oracle garden, it's because she designed that too. And so
I have all the props. I feel like the Vanna White of YouTube.
Vanna White. That's what it comes like. It's all in a tube. It's really cute. So now we're going to go to banners. Okay, first one up is Lisa R. She was the first person to post. Could I please get a past life reading? Otherwise, general questions. So I took your general question to explain to you. I'm going to lay your quick past life, and I'm going to explain your question. How does a past life affect your current life, and how can we release anything that's bothering us currently? So when I started doing past lives using the Spirit 7, it suspiciously looks like a tarot reading because it is. I would put out 7 cards and make sure you can see them all. And I'll explain to you what you're looking at. Okay, this is your past life. Now, you have several a few past, well, all your lives are all smushed together, but you usually have 2 or 3 that you're really, really, really working on right now. And um, the way this reads is this was the life you had in the past that's affecting this life. This is how you accepted it into this life. And this card is where you are right now on that path. And what I see in your past life is you lived in very struggling, difficult times. You never had you never had a home. I got a feeling you were like in a war torn period of time, and that your people in your tribe kept getting displaced, and that life sucked. Um, but you had all kinds of stress and pressure, and so when you were looking at mapping out this life, you were like you wanted stability more than anything else. You wanted to not have to run away and leave all the time, but you also wanted to live a very unburdened life. So if you needed to take off for spiritual reasons, you could and be unencumbered. You planned in this life to have a lot of people around you, and you do create friends easily. But right now, you're not feeling very strong. And it's because you're not going into the center of yourself, that you're the hermit upside down. So, and that's because something's going on that's making you feel like I may have to move on. I think every time you have to move on in this life, even if it's a place you know I'm best to be out of here, it brings up this old life. So, what you need to do is use this basic soul strength you came in with. I can pick up what I really need, what's most important, and move on. And I think right now you are like everyone else feeling the change in the world. And even though you've had a lot of peaceful times and really had some enjoyable things, you're feeling a little bit weak and like, I don't want to move on right now. What you need to do is what I would tell you to do if you were sitting at a table with me. I'd say the quick and dirty on your past life is one that's most affecting you, came out of a time that was literal chaos, but it was war. It was war. It was
Look at
not.
that. That's what I
Yeah.
got. Wars and battles.
Mhm. You need to not see, don't look at what's breaking up now is the duality where there's a right and a wrong. We're going into a middle place, and you need to not get tied up in the news playing on fear. You need to get out of that fear. If you can turn that around, then you can turn this around and find peace in this life. And I think that's with this as your background.
Yeah.
Finding peace and solace, which you have for periods of time, is most important for you, Lisa.
Yeah.
Okay.
So interesting.
Okay. And
Just real quick, I just wanted to say, Lisa, I got the wars and battles as I showed here. And then I've got this card here which speaks of attachment, which is longing and desperation, and like that leans towards the struggle of it all, right? The almost feeling like, if you can see that card there, she's sort of like stuck in a spider web, and it's kind of that feeling like you just can't break free. And then the last card that I got here was angels. And so this makes me feel like taking a more spiritual approach towards your life journey, your life path, may help you to break down some barriers and heal yourself in terms of any past like traumas or something like that could be affecting you. Really, basically what that means is, doing spiritual things to lift your vibration, right?
Yep.
To free that burden from yourself. So I hope that helps.
And I bet you this is my homage to the Ukrainian flag. So I remember every day of the desperate fight that's going on there, that's there to really help all of us. I bet you since Ukraine went into war, it made you nuts. I mean,
she said, I'm so bothered by the war in Ukraine too much. So
don't focus on it, because that's not your war. You lived through your war, and you came in this life to find peace. So,
right.
Patty 73, do you see me having been in love with a soldier from 17 to 1800s? Meh. Okay, we can do that with a pendulum. Yeah. And then he was a prankster in that life as well as this one. He died in a car accident. I think you already know the answer, but I'm going to, if it swings away from me, it's yes. Did Patty 73 meet a soldier from, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and not only that, you ran off with him. You pissed your family off. It cost you a lot. He cost you a lot in that life. But we're gonna do. I'm gonna do if he's the one that you met in the 1978. Yes, yes, yes. He was always a rule breaker, which what may you be picking up as the prankster, but there was really a very temperate heart. He was a young man when he died. He was just as wild as impetuous as you remembered him from the 17 and 1800s. Um, he came from a very stable family, and I think he suffered a lot from the disapproval of his parents, and this is an early death. So yeah, that's him. That's a yes, 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 yes.
I got a really interesting card. I just pulled one, and I've got teacher, which is learning a new path. And so perhaps the reason that you met was for him to teach you a lesson. And if he was a prankster, maybe that was to be a little more free spirited, or to have a little more fun, like be more spontaneous kind of idea.
The other thing is, he was here and he's made you aware that there must have been some deep part of you that was aware of that connection.
Yeah.
And that made you open for where things you're looking at now.
Which is beautiful.
Valerie B, you made it. You were 19 hours in when I got your thing. Hi, ladies. I would love to know what my mom and I came here to work from on our past lives together, please. It seems like I have worked through so much, then everything else comes, and there's only 200 characters allowed, so that it cut you off. But I got the image. I got the picture. Okay, I'm gonna do what's the spiritual linkage. We're gonna do Spirit 7 again between you and your mother. And the Spirit 7 is not something, I don't think you're going to find it in the book. You'll find it called the Spirit 7. But I just was told one day that this is a way to look at past lives. You might want to try it if you're a card reader, because it's lots of fun. And it's a real quick look at it. And maybe next Thursday, do you want to do, Kelly, can you meet up? Can we do a long reading? It's the long way.
Yeah.
We start with Spirit 7 and move on. Okay. We'll keep you posted. Subscribe to my channel so you get notifications, so you'll know if that's going to happen.
And don't forget to subscribe to Dozen Cats too, friends.
I know, Dozen Cats, because she always posts what we're doing together. So.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah, this is the life where you settle all the issues. You get everything you want.
Yep.
Past life.
Wow.
Past life, the two of you suffered a great deal together, but you weren't mother-daughter, you were sisters. And you lived in a world where you had absolutely no power. One of you ended up in a nunnery. So if you never really liked church much, I could tell you why. Nothing like getting up at 4 a.m. to pray, to kind of whip that right out of you. And so in this life, you said, we want to end this. This card means bridging a difficult situation to create a new life. And the two of you have always, this card's interesting for the two of you right now. You've always offered the other one the next link they needed in the chain to get out of this. And you are going to have what you want. You will have, if you meet again, it's because you're on very equal terms. But the two of you suffered a lot together. And in some way, you ended up sort of blaming each other for it, you know.
Super interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Valerie, I've got love life here. And so to me, that speaks of the love that you have for each other, you know, the unconditional love. The next card that I got was lessons and blessings. So, you know, going through past lives together, or a past life or past lives together.
They've been together a lot of times.
Yeah. You know, that bond is there for, I mean, it's just the coolest thing in the whole wide world to have lived past lives with a person that is in your life currently, right?
Mm-hmm.
The last card that I got here is surrender to the wisdom of your body. And this card reads, the message on it says, listen to your body's messages about a person or situation. If you feel physically drained or uncomfortable, be cautious. If you are energized and happy, move forward. And so I wonder to myself if this is about, like, you know, setting up personal boundaries. If you feel that you've been, like, you know, treated like a doormat, or you know, because you're empathetic or because you're compassionate, where you have been tested and sort of pushed and used, this is a reminder that unconditional bond that you have with your mother is something that you need to sort of exercise with the rest of the world, in terms of embracing it, nurturing it, but still protecting yourself at the same time, right? So, like, tapping into that wisdom that your mother would have passed down, like your ancestors passed
Mm-hmm.
down to you. I don't know if I explained that right or not, but
No, what you're trying to say is often souls become enmeshed,
yes.
EN, so that you can't move freely on your own. And this life is the time when you're using that Nine of Cups to get out of that. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What we're going to look at is this one we're going to use because it's going to be really quick on the grid. But was Katie a male, female? You were male in the last life. And can you tell me anything else from the pendulum point of view that would really help me understand this reading? Okay, you were very tied to your ancestors. You lived in a society. You were in Japan. You lived in a society that had a lot of ancestral worship, and you were a male. Okay. You were enlightened. Yeah, you were total. This is the ancestor stone. This is a piece of amber, which is my ancestor stone. This is petrified wood, which you were enlightened, and you were older in that life, and that's where you really gained your insights and your the value and what came to you is release. So you walked into this life pretty clear, not having a whole lot of burdens to carry with you. And I think you either have a picture or have had a picture of the Shinto temple that your family was tied to.
I just pulled one card, and I've got prophets and ancient seers.
Sounds good to me. I hope that helps you, hon. Okay, Prince Charming's mom. After my divorce in 2006, I shut down emotionally. Well, that happens. Been there, done that. Haven't even tried to find a romantic partner. Who was my ex Dave in my past life? Well, the first thing I'm going to tell you right now, Prince Charming's mom, is you need to let Dave go, because you wouldn't be pulling him into this conversation if you didn't think he still needed to be part of you. And finally my grown children said, Mom, don't talk about Dad anymore. Every time you talk about him, it creeps us out. He's around. So I'm telling you what my very wise children were trying to get me to do. And I did. Once I finally, I did some meditations and let it go. And then I kind of opened myself up. And then I decided consciously, I didn't want any romantic partners. I had a great second marriage, and I don't want to screw the system up. Okay.
Right.
Let's see. Oh, God. Yeah. Okay. There the two of you are.
What an interesting card.
Okay. What the relationship between the two of you was, you had been related to each other before. He freed you. He taught you some balance. And that's why you keep wanting to go back to him, because he was a positive in the past life. But you needed to walk away from the other things that embattled you. And this is you, it's a sense of control. You wanted to have control, and you kind of realized with him, you sort of knew this game plan. It wasn't a bad game plan, but you were put together in this life so you could break all of the old patterns. These are all,
wow.
Swords means moving on to something new and having a new life ahead of you. I always call this in this deck the bridge of despair. So you learn to get off this bridge of despair, because even at the end of that life, you realize that there's more you could have done. And there was, but he came into this life with you to help you work it out, and he needs to let you have your own control. So there you are, Prince Charming, Mom. You're the Queen of Swords. And my favorite story about the Queen of Swords is she was given a sharp tongue and a sharp mind so she could stick her sword in everybody's bag of bullshit. And you just need to acknowledge that, so you and use it in a wise way, and not a way that cuts anything off people need to hold on to. But you need to own your own power, and you used him in the past to do that, and you need to let that go. Then you can have your own self. Yes.
I love that. Jeffrey's in the house. Hi, Jeffrey. Real fast, Prince Charming's mom. So I pulled this card here. This is from the Past Life Oracle, by the way. So we've got the baby, right? The baby. It's like innocence.
Mm-hmm.
It, you know, can talk about new beginnings. It can talk about bonds. Maybe, you know, you shared children together, and so that bond, even though you might have been divorced, that connection would have stayed true, right? I also pulled this, which is divine presence.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's just a beautiful card. Message on here, it says the force of love and creation. It's also a master number of 44, which is just super interesting to me. And so, you know, I feel like he's around you. And I feel that, you know, if you're connected with him, like because of the kids, I don't know if you have pictures around, if people are talking about him often. There's nothing wrong with remembering him and thinking about him. But in terms of the sort of romanticizing of it, that's the thing that I think would serve you well, to sort of put that where it needs to go, which is, you know, because it's behind you, if that makes sense, right? But I do feel like he's around you.
Okay. You need to tell him to go away. I'm not a marriage counselor, by the way.
Yeah.
Okay. Even Texas wouldn't license me to be that. Beverly D, can I please have a reading on my most recent past life? Thanks you so much. Happy you and Kelly. Okay.
Oh, thank you, Beverly.
Yeah.
That's very kind.
Okay. We're going to try it this way. We're going to do a quick one and see if I get a flash of where you were. Beverly D's male or female, male or female. Female, definitely female. And what's the most important thing that the grid can tell me about that life for her? Oh dear. Okay, it's swinging between power and limiting beliefs. So you were a female who understood you really had a lot of power, but your beliefs were limited. So now we're going to roll in and find out who limited your beliefs. Oh, your older relatives brought you. Okay, wow, girl. Not only did you have limited beliefs, but you have your clarity, and what you thought was cut with limiting beliefs. And it's because of your ancestors. You were from a very aristocratic family within the society you lived in. But it's not like a castle kind of aristocracy. It's like a tribal aristocracy. And I think it also was in Asia. And because you were taught you had to be the good little woman, and you wanted to release it, and you didn't get out from under, you felt very stifled that entire life. And so I think now is the time for you to learn. The earlier you can make the breaks from the old family patterns, the happier you'll be. That's what will release you, when you release yourself from the old family patterns. And that tendency to do that is receding for you. So I think I see you in Asia. And it doesn't have to be all that far back, but it was kind of And there was a lot of where you were born that set up how you could live. And because that's how the family maintained its power, it was a limiting belief for you. You couldn't do the things you wanted to do.
Right.
And you're real clear about that. I think you may have picked also a power bound family in this life and be trying to break away from them, but I'm not sure. What you got?
I pulled two quick cards here. So I've got phobias, which speaks about, the fears, the disillusions, right? And then I've got here surrender to the complete healing. And the message on this card says, open fully to the loving, compassionate forces of the universe that support your physical, emotional, and spiritual healing, which sort of ties into the last reading that we did. And that's just, releasing the burden from yourself that you have brought from that past life in terms of feeling like you were limited, right? That you were not heard or not seen, kind of idea. Unburden yourself because it's not your burden to carry. That's, someone else's beliefs or someone else's opinion. And you don't need to carry that any longer.
Okay. Now, please describe the past lives I've shared with my spouse, the third husband. Whoa. Okay. Let's see. We're going to do Spirit 7 to see how the two of you are intertwined.
Nancy, Jean, and I are going to probably come back on Thursday to do some more past life readings.
But we're going to do a long one.
Right.
And I'll figure out how the person's going to be chosen that we do it on.
Right.
So that you can see all the elements that are in.
Yeah, absolutely. I was just, there's a couple of people asking how, is it too late and how do they get a question? Nancy Jean posted up that we were going to do this and had like 34 comments, which was outstanding. And we're so appreciative of that. Normally we get like, 10. So the questions are closed at the moment, but if you want to tune in on Thursday, you can, and we'll do this again. We do this every once in a while, right, Nancy Jean?
Yeah.
But we thank you for being here, of course.
Okay. With this husband, in the past life you recognized him right away, although you tried to get together in that life and you never did. And so this time you kind of retreated from that situation and came in because both of you had a very good life in that past life. This is these three cards. Both of you came out of very stifling and trapping marriages, and you recognized this old sense of freedom and Wheel of Fortune. So you said, I'm going with that one. Plus, they're very different from the families you were raised in. That's probably caused some conundrums among the elders of your two groups of families, if there's many of them left. But that's why it's such good. You both understand, give each other enough freedom to move forward. You have very much the same value system. You both very much want families that are happy. And I think there's something that's happened. Maybe you both had grown kids or something. They're being a pain in the ass, but it's going to work out well for you because you're breaking away from the more dictatorial, what you were told, how you had to behave. So that past life wasn't all that long ago. I'm seeing the 1800s. So, and it was in Europe, not here. Yes, dear.
Sorry. I'm just looking at my cards going, what? So I got the Strength card. Right. This is from the Prison Oracle. The two of you together formed that bond that sort of lifted you up to another level that either you could not or you didn't think that you could do on your own. I got the card of Ascended Masters.
Mm-hmm.
And on the bottom of that, it says devoted spirits with specific intentions. And then from the Past Life Oracle, I pulled the Scribe card.
Yeah.
So I think you had some either a very deep connection, like I don't know how to articulate that, but far superior to like just a normal connection, if that makes sense, or you've had many past lives together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know if there's many, but I know that both of
Like more.
them both of them made bad choices early in their lives and just found themselves trapped, and now they feel free.
Yeah.
So it's
Jeffrey,
lovely.
where can one purchase a past life oracle garden? Go to email Nancy Jean at crystaldirections@gmail.com, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And Nancy Jean can send you the information on how to get the past life oracle garden.
Yeah, Alma, who designs it, she also distributes for herself. So
yeah,
and I think I Google Alamade ALMADE not com.co. Look that up because I think that's her website. And if you're listening, I'm sorry, I'm such a slug. I had so much trouble getting all these people in. I didn't have time to make a banner for you. Think, Pegasus. What past lives come forward for me? I believe interests and talents come from the past lives into the current ones. So it would be interesting to hear about them. You're going to hear about one. You're doing that.
Oh, Rose, be careful. She said, I'll be right back. Fool across the highway playing with a gun. Call the police. Just please do my reading. I'll watch it again later.
No.
Please be careful, Rose.
Yeah. Let's not make this life your past and your most current.
Right?
Oh. Okay. Let me see. I think I'm going to swing the pendulum in this one for you. Male or female? Female. Very female. What area of your life do you want me to enlighten with throwing the stones? Limiting beliefs, and you were a Leo. Leo sun sign. That's fun. Okay, what did our limiting belief Leo person, what can the stones tell us about what talents they can create for themselves in this from the past life? What can they bring forward? That you're male. Mm-hmm. Anything that I'm going to throw these two again because they didn't land in anywhere I can read. Okay. I feel like I'm playing Monopoly. Okay. It's emerging for you, and it's some activity that when you do it, you feel very free. It's the talent just pours out of you. I have Pegasus. I have no idea whether you're male or female, but you've got stones showing both heavily. So I think that's the duality of the feminine energy and the masculine energy coming out. And you get a lot of clarity when you work. Aha, you got male, female too. When you work, whatever this create, and I think it's something very, very creative. I'm going to ask a yes, no. Is this the pattern I'm seeing here? It's what they're working on this life, very creative. Yes. So it's something you do that's creative, whether it's writing, music, art, planting beautiful gardens. I mean, anything that you do that you feel you're not only released, but you feel your whole self emerging. That's what's coming through from a past life. And I don't get a clear image in my head of what it is. So
just going to go. I pulled this card here, which is the Angels of the Seven Chakras, which speaks to power, truth, and connection. Mm-hmm. And when I'm looking at this, and Nancy Jean is talking about the creative part, and I'm seeing all of the colors, right? So I don't know if you draw, or if you sketch, or you're into, watercolors or painting or something like that, or maybe even doing puzzles, maybe working with crystals, like doing grids, like what Nancy Jean sort of does. I don't know. You said about the creative part. I pulled that card and I'm looking at it going, maybe there's something in there, right?
Right.
It's like the colors of the rainbow. So I just think that's super interesting. And the only other card I pulled was the male female card.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah,
decided to let you run
I
with
think
that.
you have incredible skills and this is your time because this is when divine masculine and divine feminine are going to become equal again.
She said, "I love coloring my friends' magic with my magic. Sorry, I love coloring my friends' magic wands."
Good. That's a wonderful, and you're putting spirit in a conduit for spirit. That's
Yep.
great. Okay. Laura Newby. We're going to do her past life while she's recovering in this one.
I'd be curious to know about past life and memories. Right. This is the lady that yeah, in the hospital. Yeah, please don't forget to hit the thumbs up, everybody.
Yep.
Helps the channel get noticed.
Subscribe, like, and if you have a friend you know sort of interested in past lives, pass this on to them. Send it through a Gmail or a Facebook post. Oh.
Valerie says, "I'm looking forward to Thursday. I would love to see how the long read is."
Okay.
Beautiful card.
Okay. Laura Newby. Okay. You went through a hard time emotionally in your past life, and who you were a person who tried to help other people learn. And look, this is a different Five of Swords than the way I interpret it. You've used all these tools, but then you would help people pick the right tool to shine up to make their life better. So I think you were a teacher, and that set you on the goal of coming into this life to teach again. Okay. And what I got is you fulfilled that wish in your chart. You're just going through getting rid of some of the last gunk that you had that's not in this past life. And you have incredible value. The King of Coins doesn't mean just money. It means someone who has incredible value and understanding. And this life, you are facing a lot of judgments. Right now, you're feeling a little whipped out by that. I don't doubt it. But you're accomplishing getting back to being the teacher. You're making your way there. And you're almost finished with having to deal with the last of the junk so you can quit feeling depleted. The Page of Wands goes out and he creates a new world in the desert. If you ever look at the card, he's standing at the edge of the desert saying, we're going to make this something better. That's what you're going to do, but you have to get better. Right now, you don't have the energy to do that. Okay.
Beautiful. Look at what I got. I've got freedom, letting go, and moving on.
Mm-hmm.
And then I pulled movement. So you're going to get past this situation.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And then I've got take a breather.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's interesting that all of the cards I got are sort of in the same color family, like the
right,
the green
for healing and blue,
yeah, beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
So that doesn't really tie into a past life per se, but I felt that it was appropriate because of what Nancy Jean said that you're going through. So I hope that gives you a little bit of comfort, at least, to know that you're making progress and things are going to be okay.
Okay. You're going to be I've not had a question like this for a long time. Okay. We're going to throw the stones into and I'll tell you again, that's amber is a ancestor stone. Petrified wood is an ancestor stone. Citrine is what's going to bring you good luck. And where the quartz lands, we're going to get clarity. And we're going to look at what your family needs to heal, your soul group needs to heal. And I've never tried reading like this before, so we're going to go for it. Ooh, cool. Okay, your ancestor stone says that your family is always clearly defined to be in places where great destiny is there. And that means If they're in a war, they're in the biggest battle of the war. If they're in the business, they're in the good part of the business. Doesn't mean they're running it, but it means they're aligned with it and touching it. They're what brings them good luck is because they become very, very resolved to achieve whatever this destiny has thrown at them. I'm going to rethrow the petrified wood because I didn't get an answer. Okay. Yeah, and you all sense you've been connected with the past life. That's very strong. But for all of you, you don't get clarity until you're older. That's when you get clear. I mean, you may wander around when you're younger, but you're here to heal prior errors. But I would say, I sense that you're willing to take risks because you want to be where destiny's moving. So, what'd you get?
I didn't. I was just messing around here. I wanted to read Laura's comment. She said, "Thank you so very much. It is so kind. I am a social worker, so this makes so much sense. I'm humbled and thankful. Light and love and all. I am trying to trust the process, but this was really nice. Thank you."
Okay, good. So, what do we get for Liza B?
Oh,
it's her family. We're looking for
right. Sorry.
Somebody has to read the comments, guys. You gotta.
Yeah, we've got grounding, which is an interesting card. That go deep, explore your roots.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I said it was interesting, because we're literally asking about your family, and so, is there someone in your family that does like genealogy or is tracing family history or something like that? Because that's what I'm picking up off of this card. So maybe you're supposed to go back and look at your family history, like your family tree, to find some sort of similarity or some connection, find a cousin, across the pond, like I did. That literally happened to me, which was super interesting.
Okay.
That's what I got.
Okay. This next one's interesting. I have never been interested in politics, but the Trump years shook me to my core. I believe that's because I had a life in Atlantis and lived through the conflict of good and evil. Is that right? So I'll do a yes, no on that question. Mm-hmm. And if we get a no, you get to rethink this. Was Donna, is the fear from Trump from having gone through the conflicts in Atlantis? Oh, poor baby, you gotta know. I think the reason you became terrified is not from living in Atlantis. We all rose back up out of it again anyway. So, but I think your real fear from politics, I'm going to see, was Donna too consumed with the fear factor sold by the news. Yes, and it didn't even hesitate. Your problem is don't watch so much news. Read history and see how we've always resolved things instead of getting stuck in the day-to-day of what is or is not happening now. Okay?
I got surrender the habit of people pleasing.
Oh, good.
And that message says, speak your needs and be true to yourself. Focus on your own happiness instead of always trying to make everyone else happy. So in terms of what Nancy Jean was saying, perhaps you watch the news because the whole family gathers to watch the news, or because that's what you talk about at the dinner table kind of idea. It's okay for you not to know everything. Sometimes, and I don't mean this to be smart, or offensive, but ignorance is bliss sometimes when it comes to the news, because it's almost like too much. You need to detoxify from the news a little bit, right?
Yeah, I mean, and remember, that's what you're seeing is what's happening on that Tuesday, and a week from then you won't even know what it is.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Look at that. Eliza Bassett says, thanks very much, ladies. Yes, Granddad was deeply into genealogy, and I had a huge family tree on Ancestry.
Yeah, so your family's trying to resolve and deal with its destiny and
Yeah.
help your souls do that. That's great.
Love it. Thank you
Valfran,
for
hi
that.
ladies. I would love to know more about my last life and if we have unfinished business. Oh, honey, we always have unfinished business. Not even a question.
Right.
Do we carry it forward to resolve in the next life? And kind of the way I was taught past lives work is you have 3 or 4 soul journeys that really affect you and they push you forward, and you're not always working on the same stuff every time, but you will have met. I have a friend that had a past life regression, and in her regression she was dying after having given stillbirth in Georgian England, and everybody left the room because this was a real disappointment. It was a older husband who wanted a child, and she was virtually abandoned by her parents, by everybody else. The only person in the room with her was her maid. And the therapist said, "Do you know your maid in this life?" And she said, "Yes, it's Nancy." And the weird thing about that is she and I ended up cooped up in a maternity room trying, and in our 40s, trying to not have babies too early. And we helped each other through that possibility.
Beautiful.
So that old life showed up. Okay. So we're going to look at your last life and your current life. Oops, stuck in the mud. What can I say? Oops, oops, oops. Okay. One of the reasons you're asking this right now is because you feel stuck in that past life. Oh, dear girl. You were part of the church. You were a priest in the church. You had a very spiritual life, but you died relatively young. You never really felt like you got to say your piece. You were sort of put in the church, right? Put in the church, okay? And you never got to hone your skills, and you felt very stuck. And something's going on around in your life right now. You came in not wanting to have your heart cut off again. You wanted to have your heart really working. And right now you're at a stalemate. For some reason, you feel like you're facing that same dilemma. So,
Sorry, literally. Oh, sorry, Nancy. I didn't mean to cut you off.
no. So, what you need to do is realize when you're in the hangman position, that's great because you're getting a chance to see the world from a different perspective. And this poor guy never did. He got locked in early and missed using all his talents. And you're having a chance to grow your talents. You're just not sure what they are.
I pulled the high priest or priestess. I did pop that up when you said that, because I was like, wow. Then I got lessons and blessings at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And the last card that I got, I think it could be really helpful to you. So this is rise above the dark days of life.
Mm-hmm.
Do not fight them, but have faith that the light will always return. So that ties into the lessons and the blessings, right? That there's something to be learned no matter what kind of situation is, no matter whether it's the greatest day in the world or not. There's always something to be learned. And sometimes we can get into a pattern where we sort of forget to really count our blessings or to really practice our gratitude, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And the reason that I say that is that was key for my personal healing. It was to sort of revisit how I practice gratitude.
Right. Okay, Cold Toes, and that's her cool nickname. She lives in Alaska. I would like to know if I shared my past life with my deceased husband. We didn't have enough time together in this life. Can you see if we will get together in future lives? Girl, I'm doing past lives.
No.
I can ask the universe, and it may say yes, and it may say no, and I'm not holding on to it, but I'm going to do that as a yes/no.
All right, Anna, thanks for being here.
We're getting there, girl. We're getting through this list of questions. I will cut it off if I start to feel buzzy and I can't hang on, because
Yeah. You've already read for how many hours were you on with Scott this morning?
2. It's a yes, no, but it's, yeah, he did die. He was taken away too early, and you look upon that with too much regret because you got the best time you got, and eventually it shows you back in a happy home and shining up the gifts that you like. So I would say, if reading this, that yes, you are going to meet again. And you don't have to meet again. He's still here. You can reach across the veil and talk to him. He's still listening.
Look what I got.
What? Oh, unrequited love. Oh. So.
Yeah, I also got the high priest or priestess, and I mean, I don't know Cold Toes, but I know her a little bit, and so I feel like that is telling you, like, if you're talking to him, you know, if you sense him, if you smell him, if you know that he's around, keep talking to him because he hears you, right? Look for the messages, look for the signs, look for the little synchronicities that let you know that he's around you, because that might help.
Right.
And I just think that's lovely.
Okay, next one. Diana O. In a past life, was I with my first or current husband?
Wow.
Okay, I'm going to ask yes, no on this because I don't think I know how to make the cards resolve that question. Was I with my past first? We're going to do first husband first, okay? Since that's the order they arrived in. Yes, you were involved with him and your first husband. And now, and in a past life, you're involved with your current husband. No. And so if you weren't involved with your current husband, that answers the next question. We thought maybe both at the same time. Karma involved. Okay, we're going to ask if there's a karmic connection to first husband. Okay. Karma involved with second husband. No, he's a newbie. He's a lot of fun. He's a fresh chance. No old war wounds. Woo!
I got the craziest card. I got determination.
Okay.
And then I also got divine presence, and we've seen this already once today, which is the force of love and creation.
Okay. Let me see if I'd love to have a long conversation. I'm not going to go there with her right now, but if your first husband was dead when you met your current husband, he may have sent him in. That may be what you're feeling, but otherwise, I got nothing for you, kid. I mean,
or maybe they were friends or something like that.
Yeah.
Maybe they were bonded in some way. Hi, Celtic Seer. She's like long handle.
I'm getting to your question. Yep. Roanna Wolf. Oh, I'm sorry, Roanna. I didn't make it Roanna W. I would like to know about my past life, the most significant one that I'm living with now, and was my current daughter with me. So I'm going to ask about the life that engaged you and your daughter together, because otherwise, that's what you do when you do a long reading. You look at all the characters. Yep. So we're going to see if the significant life you had in the past and how it's working out with your daughter. And for those of you who are wondering, when I used to work tables, if I did parties, I did a Halloween party where I read 110 people. So I promise I won't break.
Holy. Did you all see the cards go flying?
Yeah. It flew across the border.
Right? got there? Like flipped over inside the deck. All kinds of things were going on there.
Okay. This was your past life. You were not among the spiritually gifted at that point. You didn't listen to your intuition, but you had a lot of power that you used and you moved on easily. So in this life, you've got two aces. You came in wanting this power again, but with the intuition behind it. You've done really well for yourself. Right now, you're feeling a little stifled and like your values aren't working like they should. And I think that has something to do with your daughter, and you're feeling not emotionally fulfilled. So I'd say the way it's worked with your daughter was she hooked onto you because you had a lot of power in that life. You had a lot of power in that life. You did not use it from the highest spiritual point. You came in wanting more money and more respect and more value. I think in that life, you guys, I almost feel like you were gypsies or something because you were moving all the time.
Oh my God, Nancy Jean, look, I got transportation. I'm like, yup, you were moving. And I also got ships.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah, she was moving. I mean, these folks were moving constantly. The Knight of Swords pushing them onward and upward. And I think right now you're trying to reevaluate what will be able to make you be your most generous and your most gracious. And you're feeling like your heart's a little empty. The other way I could read this is you need to open up your heart center so you can pull in what you need.
Yeah. In addition to those two cards that I got, the transportation and the ships, I got Mother.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got Wars and Battles.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't know.
That may be why they moved on. That they couldn't not settle down.
Yeah.
It was war.
I sort of felt like, and then I've got Achievement, which is completion and reward. So I don't know if you had to fight to stay together in your past life.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like it definitely wasn't an easy life. But now in this current life, you figured it out, right? You have the achievement, the completion of it, which is lovely. What an interesting question and interesting cards.
We got another mom question. Zebra Rock. That is not the question. It's, can I ask about me and my little one? I have a very strong connection with her, and I think we've been together many times. Please ask. So we're going to ask that in a 5-card yes, no. And you can pull your cards up and see what we get.
I love the name Zebra's Rock, by the way. That's so cute.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Thank you, Diana. We love doing past life readings together.
Mm-hmm. Girl, were you ever? You were married to her. She was your husband, or whatever the little one is. And you had a very, very conventional relationship, and it went along just absolutely beautifully. And if you can maintain that connection, your high priestess was not in full gear in that lifetime. What'd you get?
Karmic relationship.
Yep. She was this child. I'm feeling a girl child. I don't know if that's true, but you were married to this baby before.
Yeah. Got lessons and blessings again.
Mm-hmm.
That card is like making a I got pain.
Mm-hmm.
Like lots of sort of emotional pain. Sorry. One more second here. Okay. There. Okay. Leave the past behind.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I mean, you're feeding off the strengths of what was good this time.
Yes.
Don't pay attention to it. Okay.
That's what the lesson is, right?
Okay. You want to know who you were? Or I'm going to do it this way. Okay.
I would be curious to know about a past life and who I was. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Oh, interesting. Zebra's Rock said that she had a very difficult first year of life. I'm her daughter, I guess. She's talking.
Okay. I have to slow this down because I can't. I'm getting you were both male and female, and if it does it again, then you were both male and female.
Yeah. Nancy Jean. So Celtic Seer says, at Nancy Jean's Garden sent you an email inquiry, 12-month reading. Highly recommend a booking with Nancy Jean. Absolutely.
Yeah. You were female in this life, but you took on a male attitude. That's what happened. That the life we're going to be looking at. And is there any specific characteristic we need to know about that life before we throw the stones in? It's about your soul family that you're connected to. Ooh, cloudy. Older.
Interesting.
Yeah, your clarity comes from understanding your soul family and that you have free will. That's where your good luck comes from, is breaking those old patterns. They're going to become easier as you become older. You are going to be released from any ancestral ties that you don't wish to have. And right now, some of the connections in your life are clouding that point of view for you. And who were you? You were an older female that was sort of the mainstay in the soul family, but you really wanted all of your people connected to you to have the free will to move forward. Right now, something in your life is clouding that, but you are ultimately going to work out that release for yourself. Okay.
I got the trees, which ties into what Nancy Jean was saying about the ancestral.
That's your old tree. That's your old
Yeah.
fossilized tree.
And then I've got the art. So I'm interested to know, Laura, if there's, if you have like, a musical sort of interest, or if you're musical, or a performer or something of that nature. Yeah, just that's what I got.
Okay. The next question is a little truncated. I'm sorry, but when I was copying them over, I missed.
Yeah.
I live different lives at blah. Okay. I would like to ask about one of my past lives. My dreams always have spoken to me, and in them, I live different lives at. Okay, we're going to find out. We're going to do yes, no. Are you living different lives at where you think you are?
Yeah.
Because this will give us like a whole lot.
Beverly, we already answered your question, love. I think that was the Beverly D, right, that we did earlier. Was Beverly Davis.
Yep.
We already answered that question earlier, love, for you.
I think you were towards the beginning because you posted early. Okay. Now, can we answer the question so I don't have to hold the pendulum till my arm freezes? Okay. Yes, you lived in that place, in that one environment several times. Now, what do I need to know about what to look at on the board for that? Okay. You have a lot of unresolved issues from that life. So what can we find out about ourselves to how to resolve the issues? Above, okay, work above, male, release, okay. Your ancestral, this probably follows your dreams. Your amber, your ancestor stone, shows up in the word above, which means that's what you're pulling in from your crown chakra. But your good fortune and what is beneficent to you is exactly opposite, below, which is from your root chakra. So what you need to do is in one of those past lives, you were very male and you feel that, and you need to talk to him and acknowledge him so that you can release the energy that was built up with him from the past that you've been carrying forward. And the way you're going to release that is to learn how to balance your chakras. So I think Dr. Gail's having a Solaris healing tomorrow on Monday afternoon. It's Dr. Gail Starseed channel. You can find her on YouTube. She has a way of looking at people's chakras, which I do not. And she can help you figure out if you have a hole or a leak in your chakras. Okay.
I got connections for you, Jen, which is just interesting when Nancy Jean was saying like your chakras and the crown chakra. That's literally what I think of when I see this card.
Mm-hmm.
On the bottom, it says partnerships, contracts, and commitments. I then got forgiveness,
Mm-hmm.
right? Which is all about your heart chakra.
Oh,
and every other chakra, because when you're holding on to that stuff, you're totally out of alignment. And I say that from experience. We've got transformation here, and the message on the bottom of this card is beautiful. A fresh new way of living emerges. So if you can bring your chakras into balance, if Nancy Jean is correct, which I don't question that, then that affords you an opportunity to have a whole new way of looking at things from a whole new perspective, because you will be in balance. Right.
Okay. Vicky H, I would love a past life reading. Okay, we're going to do the Spirit 7. And then let me, guys, if you want to go get a cup of tea or a drink of water or something, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of them left after this, but Celtic Seer, you're next. We're going to do Vicky's, and we're just going to really smash through these guys, because these are the people that posted within an hour, like at 11:45 my time. That's when I picked up all of the questions. And if you posted after that, no, I do not have a way of magically drawing the things over from the comments to here. It's a very slow process. Okay, Vicky H.
Thank you for being here, Janice. We appreciate it.
Yeah. Thanks everyone for showing up and sitting through all this. I mean, each one of these things you're going to hear, you're going to learn from for yourself. Vicky
Absolutely.
H, past life.
Wow.
You were very masterful. You ran your own world. You were good at a lot of things, but you were never really great at one thing. You were like kind of a jack of all trades. And you finished out a lot of the basic work you needed to do on clearing out your energies, learning to not pick up other people's burdens. But one of the things you did in this life path was you didn't completely close it up. So you came into this life to do that. And you've done it. You've begun to achieve those things by not picking stormy seas to sail in. You go and you find the calmer water to go with. You found better people to be connected with in this life, because this guy was just really independent and didn't need anybody. You need people. You're learning how to need people and work with people, even when it doesn't benefit you financially. What you get?
I've got biblical, followed by angels.
Cool.
And the last card, I'm nodding my head because in agreement. So we've got Archangel Raguel, which I can't ever pronounce properly. Raguel, thank you. Mm-hmm. So justice, harmony, and solutions, which sums up what Nancy Jean just said, in terms of, how you want to, make everyone sort of happy and have everyone get along. The angels and the biblical part, I think that's interesting, because either you were a very spiritual person or maybe you were involved in the church somehow.
Mm-hmm.
That's beautiful.
Okay, we're going to get to Celtic Seer finally. Yay!
Yay!
Our resident astrologer on our...
Love it.
Past life that's most relevant to me in this life, what is the common thread? Okay, that's easy. Not easy, but doable.
Vicky got the High Priestess in the cards that she pulled.
I got the High Priestess in this, and you are a High Priestess because you're an astrologer. You were in the French court, and you became a woman of basic leisure, and you never could move forward in what you wanted to, and you felt your life there was very imbalanced. So this life, you came in, you're going to build a strong defense and learn about everything you needed to know. You'll even sacrifice your own personal comfort to be able to communicate with people, and you are the High Priestess. So the common thread in both those lives is you see who you are and where you are, and you make decisions. She was trapped, but honest God, when I laid that card down, and I don't usually see, but I saw you at Versailles, a woman trapped in the very sexist society, Versailles, and you came in this life and you said, I'm not, even if I'm uncomfortable, even if it doesn't feed me every day, I'm not doing that again. That's your common thread. You wouldn't sell your soul for ease.
Sorry. All of a sudden there's a cat tail in front of me. The cat literally just jumped on my desk. I don't know if you noticed, but I went, what? I got trust and faith. And the image on this card makes me feel very much like a champion, sort of standing up for justice sort of thing. I got shamanic healer. And the message on this is about cleansing and attunement. I also got the Father card. And there's something about the way that hand is holding on to the finger of the dad in conjunction with this trust and faith that makes me feel like either you had a lot of trust and faith in like the fatherly figure, like that person was very important to you, right? So is there someone in your life, I'd be interested to know that like, did you have father issues, or did you have trust issues in your life?
She'd have trust issues if she was in Versailles and remembering it.
Yeah, she says, I speak French and have had deja vu in France. Wow.
Good. Okay, we're going on to the next lovely lady, Carolyn Adams. And I'm sorry, Carolyn, I didn't make it Carolyn A. I really tried to do that. Hi, Nancy Jean Does the Cats. Please let me know about a life or lives that are most relevant to me now. So that's what we're going to do, a Spirit 7, and look at that. God, you folks are hanging on there. I'm looking at the numbers, and we still got 50 people watching us. But like I said, when we read someone else's past life, it also relates to anyone who's hearing it, except the kitty. He doesn't get a past life today. Oh dear, you came in to be a wise woman. What were you last time? Oh, you were part of the established church. In this life contract, you chose to come in as a wise woman, but you found that's a very difficult balance to hold on to, but you're doing it, and you feel like you haven't always made the best choices, but it shows that right now, yes, you have. You put yourself in the best position to be able to learn that. The past life, you were a member of the church. You did not like the kind of control. This is the 4 of coins reversed. You didn't like the kind of control that put on people, and you felt like a whole lot of the stuff you were saying was wands flying in the air. It wasn't real. And so this time you've come in to speak the truth. And if you're not a reader or spiritual person, you need to get into some kind of meditation, because you need to pull her in so you can kind of change some of this. That may be why you feel imbalanced. You were so good at it before. It was so easy. And now you just need to know how to bring it in.
I don't know if this is going to make any sense or not, Carolyn, but I've got the orphan card, and then I've got the farm. I don't know what that means. That's the 2 cards that I got, and it sort of makes me feel like like a very lost, very alone, not sure who you are, like, you know what I mean, that kind of vibe. And I'm sorry I didn't pull any more cards.
Okay, that's fine.
That's
Carolyn, I think the reason you felt like an orphan was because the soul path you've taken this time. The other one was through an established church where you felt like you were part of an established group. Now you're doing it on your own. Okay.
Right.
Mary N. And her last name is Noodles, and I'm not sure if it really is Noodles or if so. I just made it Mary Ann just in case it was really Noodles. Was my current husband with me in a past life? And how do I know my current life path? Okay, it's two different questions, but we're going to do about your husband, and I'll ask the cards if it can give me some idea about your life path.
Yeah, sorry about the cat tail, everybody. My cat doesn't normally jump up on the table like that. I don't know what was going on behind me.
Because she thinks mommy's been talking way too long.
Maybe.
No, he wasn't with you in your current in your most immediate past life. And what's your current life path? It's what you want to pick. These two cards tell me that a lot of things have gotten thrown at you. That means happy family, right side up or upside down. So that's good. You feel sometimes like you're treated like a child and you want to be a mature woman and you're trying to figure out the path. Your current life path is to really meditate and get the next right choice. A lot of things are changing around us, Mary, and you can have your fool walk off into the right direction. Right now, I think you feel a little rudderless. And let me see about your husband.
That's so interesting. I got karmic relationship.
Mm-hmm.
I got the baby when you said being treated like a child.
Mm-hmm.
And I got ships. So I'm not sure if that means there was travel involved, if this speaks to a particular, like going on a voyage, you know what I mean?
No, I think she's adrift.
Or you know, your sails are sort of without wind.
Your husband's not a bad guy. He's a good fit for you. The problems that you mainly have with him are because of his family upbringing. It wasn't very stable. And he's willing to let you take control. I think it may be partly hesitance on your part. So the more control you can start to take with him, the happier you'll be. But whatever you think might have karmically come in with him, he's fine. Okay. Carolyn A., you are the next one. No. And her name's Kelly. She's not a dozen cats, even though she had a cat in her lap. Please let me know about the lives that are most relevant to me now. A lot of folks getting that question right now. Okay. Okay. This life. Oh, you picked some interesting cards for this life. Happy ones, not super overpowering. Okay. Okay. In this life, and these three cards, you chose to come in and be with people you're congenial with. You're also very capable of retreating. You may be one of those introverts that looks like an extrovert, because you want to build a strong defense, and you are very aware of the kind of judgments you make on your own maneuverings. Where did this come from? You got killed in a past life. You never developed a talent to move and to do anything well, and that was all your own choice. You were the fool in that last life, and that was the best part of your past life, was being a fool. This is a lot of stuff ended for you. And when I put that card down, I don't normally see that as death, but I think you had a tragic death in that life, and you never had a skill to hang on to make your life better. So this time you chose, I'm going to come in and be with collegial people. I'm going to be able to retreat and take care of myself when I need to. I'm going to build a strong foundation for myself, and it's working out well for you. But it's the fear from that life. It's the fear of the being. And you were not very old when you got killed either.
I got orphan.
Mm-hmm.
And authority figures.
Mm-hmm.
Then I've got the journey guide, which is travel and change in location, or just simply movement.
Mm-hmm.
The last card that I got was, I love this card. To conform is to die inside.
Mm-hmm.
Be brave and be yourself. And I sort of feel like you had to, it's almost like you had to stay like one step in front of yourself or one step in front of everyone else so that you felt strong and independent. But I think it was purely based on fear, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Right. Which is why that journey came out, I think.
Well, and also remember, you can hug a part of your soul that came in damaged,
right,
and say, we're not there anymore. I now understand the energy you bring in. Seattle roller derby fan. Woo!
Love it.
Okay. What kind of past life would be the one that is putting me in the direction of my future desires to further body, mind, and spirit? So let's see which of the past lives is leading you in a positive direction.
Hi, Dina. No, the questions are closed, love. But thank you for being here. Nancy Jean put a post up yesterday saying that we were going to be here doing this, and we had 34 before we started the show. So make sure that you subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. And then anytime that Nancy Jean goes live, you'll get a notification, right, through the community tab.
Hey! If you hear a cat fight in the back, we are integrating another cat into our household. And so you're going to, unlike your kitty, which climbs peacefully on your lap, mine spreads fur all over the house. They don't do it often. About once a day, they come out and say, okay, this is the past life. Oh, God, you had, interesting life. You ended up with the tower at the end. You entered that life with so much love and happiness in your heart. And for a long time, you were surrounded by that, but you couldn't control the circumstances around yourself. And you ended up in the tower. I think it's because you tried too hard to not be flexible and tried too hard to hold on. So in this life, the contract you came in with was to be more flexible. Good move. Good move. And I think the conflict in that life came from your family and its position. So you want a nice, happy family, but that's not your most important desire. You want to be the person, you're mentally very sharp. You like to read, you like to exert yourself. And this is, I don't read kings and queens as necessarily in a sex. I read their dynamic. And right now, you're in the process of building a lot of bridges and connecting with a lot of people positively, so that doesn't happen again. The tower. So, what are you learning? You're doing what you're supposed to be doing. You're balancing your need to have people close to you with being your own sensibility, and you kind of let the information drift in through your crown chakra to help you understand where you are. What'd you get?
I got surrender denial.
Okay.
And that message reads, accept people and situations exactly as they are without denying the difficulties. Then you can see things clearly and make the best decisions. The second card I got was mindfulness. and that is a peaceful presence and a quiet mind. It's like,
Okay.
I don't think that your mind was quiet in a past life. I got leaving or travel.
Mm-hmm.
I got authority figures.
Mm-hmm.
And I also got health. So I don't know, like maybe you had to travel because you were like sickly, so maybe you were constantly on the move to find like
Find the right place,
yeah. So
but
sometimes you get
that
stuck
could
in
be
that.
that could be the tower moment. I got this
Yeah.
major disease and I have to track it down.
Right. Oh, she just said, I am currently healing from a total knee replacement surgery. I was in a lot of pain for a few years before. My life has been on hold, hoping to be able to just get out and live again soon, just to do stuff. That's from Mary Noodle.
Okay, I did my knee replacement 10 years ago this month, and it gets better. That's all I can tell you. And it really, you get to the point you can't even remember how much pain you were in, but you realize you were at one point in your life. Genealogy junkie, I don't know if we answered. We had another person who had almost the same question. And I don't know how that part, the 2SI. Anyway, she wants to know about living through the conflict of good and evil. We kind of already answered that earlier, not for you in particular, but it's that when that if the current years have made you absolutely nuts, it's because you're over focusing on right now and pulling in that old memory. I'm not saying you weren't there, and I'm not saying it's not an old memory, but the best way to get away from that is to not tie in to fear-based information.
Right.
All disinformation is there to make you feel fear, and it makes you feel off-centered and like you're off kilter. So I'm not going to read it. Hmm?
She said I didn't ask about that.
Okay, is that not her question? Is that not genealogy junkies?
I don't know. She just said in the chat I didn't ask about that.
Okay, let me. Uh-oh. Guys. Hey, Max. You want the spray bottle? Okay.
Oh, she's saying no, it is not. It's not her question.
Okay. I'm going to see if I had if what we can find out from your life in Atlantis and how it reflects on you now. Okay. That's the best I can do because the whole question didn't come across when I copied and pasted it. There is a character limit that they allow on me. So sorry. What was it like for you in Atlantis? And what is it like with you now?
So Genealogy Junkie says, I had two past lives that I'm aware of. One was a nun and the other was a peddler.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and this is a lifetime we're trying to break being dependent on a lot of other stuff. I asked about Atlantis. When you were in Atlantis, you were very highborn and things were really good when you started out. Then the heartbreak came and then the separation from the people you loved. Okay? So in this life, you said, you almost made the pledge, I don't want to make a lot of close connections because I don't want to get hurt again. But you made connections and you have done them with people, and your values are moving forward in the correct way, but you're having to cut a lot of cords and cut a lot of ties right now. So what you learned from the first life was you should have cut some ties and you would have been less hurt by the situation. Now you're learning how to stay independent on your own. And you've created some pretty good connections. Not as profitable as you would have liked, but good. Okay? What you got?
I got phobias.
Mm-hmm.
Then I love this card, sensitivity and strength.
Mm-hmm.
And tapping the forces within. I got the and I just noticed I have a spelling mistake in my oracle card, so that's lovely. The native, so the Native American.
Mm-hmm.
And then the last card that I got is embrace the flow of life.
Mm-hmm. I think that's what she learned to do.
Yeah. I love there's something about this card here, this sensitivity and strength, that I think is really beautiful, right? The tapping of the forces within.
Mm-hmm.
And I keep looking at her name, seeing genealogy junkie, imagining that you spend a great deal of time and energy going through, ancestral charts and family trees and things like
Mm-hmm.
that.
Mm-hmm.
And literally tapping at the roots of the tree, to find that inner wisdom. Sorry, that was a lot, but that's what was going through my head.
Okay. Next one. Okay. This is the only, a lot of people send hearts and things in their questions. This is the only one where it would come through.
Yeah. She's actually got that right in her name. So if you're in a chat and you go to type her name,
okay,
it comes out, which is great.
Well, I don't type it. I just cut and paste them. But
yeah.
Meowdy, it would be interesting to know which past life leaks over most into my current life. They don't leak, they get accepted. Please change that.
Leaks over the most into my current life.
And there's really 3 or 4 of them, so we're just going to get the one we can get. So. Yeah. Oh, you're doing great. The past life was you died relatively young, but you learned a great deal from it about how to make good decisions and how to make yourself comfortable and how to survive well. And in this life, you said you wanted justice. And I think that has to do something with why you died young, that you wanted things to be more fair. You thought it was unfair for them to do that. You've learned that it's not always what you can earn or what you can bring in. It's also what you can give away and receive. You've learned that balance. And you've also left yourself open for the next good idea. I always see this little angel when it's reversed, the little angel's throwing the cup at you saying, you're going to pay attention to this one. You've not paid attention to us here. You're going to pay attention to us now. And right now you have the sun in the middle of your life. So I think your life's really in pretty good shape.
Well, there's not really a whole lot I can add to that. Now, I mean, that's just lovely.
Mm-hmm.
I got the High Priestess.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the
well understood intuition.
Yeah, like your whole spiritual, there's something. Sorry, what did you say? You said something, and when I looked at this picture, I thought that you said about the justice.
Yes, okay. I think it was a male because I just referred to it as a he. Yeah. He died young, and he felt that was very unjust.
Right, and there was something about the way that they're standing there with their arms out that struck me when you said that. And I also got the Wars and Battles card, and then I've got. You said about things in balance, and I got the phase entanglement. So if you've struggled with balance, right, with being an empath and being like overly sensitive, not that you're an overly sensitive person, but because you're an empath, you're overly sensitive to people and energies, right? And then I got take a breather.
Yeah. You're in a great position right now. You don't have to keep pushing. You don't have to keep and remember, your past lives don't leak into your world. They come into your world or they rush in, sometimes like a flood. Okay. Right. So, Kathy, and I've always had a dream of levitation and flying. Did I have a past life somewhere where a being can fly. Okay, I was going to where you were a fly. No, I would hope not. I'm asking if you carried in soul energy from a universe where you could fly without airplanes and things that are useful,
Yeah.
in our world. We only have 2 more after this, folks. So those of you who have hung in.
Thank you, everybody.
Yes.
Thank you, everyone, for putting the questions and under the comment post yesterday and today and last night. And thanks for everyone for being here today. Please make sure that you hit those thumbs up.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Kathy Ann. No. But you're a whole person. I think it's just a mental thing of letting go and feeling free. It's not. This is like no. You had no values that came from there. No things started from there. It's not even anything you wish. I think you don't like it because it makes you feel oogie when you fly, and it's not something that you can normally share. But you're still a grand spanking wonderful person, even if it didn't come from another sense of being, another energetic.
So you said about being free, and look at the card that I pulled: imprisonment or slavery.
Mm-hmm.
So feeling isolated, feeling trapped, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which so not necessarily fly, but like literally removing yourself from a situation. It's
Mm-hmm.
It made me think of like flight or fight.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And then, I mean, I don't know. I've got the journey guide, which is travel.
Mm-hmm.
So is it possible that you like astral travel or
Mm-hmm.
time travel? I don't know. But I mean, I've got the card. That blew my mind right there. So I don't know what to say about it.
It comes from her earthbound presence. It does not come from anywhere else. Okay.
Beautiful. Absolutely fascinating.
Second to the last, man, you just barely made it, Christine. And like I said, I was at the end and I was not blitzing out last names. I have a lot of illness. I would like to know what past life relates to this and why. Okay. I'm going to ask if past lives relate to this because you make the presumption that's where it comes from.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's see, how does your past life relating to your physical state in this planet, this world right now?
You're welcome, Cat Mama.
Okay, I got a real clear picture of what's going on here. In your past life, you didn't build up defenses. You sort of didn't want to hang around and look at things and take things too much in consideration. And you had a very emotionally rough time. So you came into this life and said, I want to complete a lot of the part of my journey that I haven't done so far. So it said, we're going to teach you how to release and let go of burdensome energy. We're going to allow you to do this very effectively, and you do it at your own choice. What you're doing now is in one of your lives, you rejected pain and things like that. And this time you've chosen to have a lot of illness to clear the decks.
I got the health card.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got the farm card. And I wondered to myself if you were either, I don't know, like I'm imagining like, one of like 10 children or something that like you lived at the family farm and you had to work and it didn't matter whether you were sick or if you were like eating right or whatever the case may be, right? That you were forced to do what you had to do out in the fields kind of idea.
Right.
And so it went unnoticed and unchecked kind of idea. One more card. I just feel I'm supposed to, I don't know why. I got love life.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think of what that means, but
She needs to learn how to love life. She hated her last life. She chose to come in this way and clear a lot of the decks. So she set herself up to going through these things because she was strong enough to do it.
What Nancy Jean said. See, friends, that's why we love Nancy Jean, because she's awesome. Thank you.
Okay. And this is ta-da! Sleuth Jill. You have hung in here to the very end. I would like to know which past life made the most impact on my current life, which is what everybody wants to know. Look forward to the show. Okay. We're going to see. Y'all can hang in 3 more minutes. We're going to be done with this.
Yes, thank you, everybody.
Yeah, thank you, everyone. I will go back and look through the comments. Because I can't read comments and read cards. Okay. No, that's not bad. Okay, in the past life is here. You didn't achieve what you wanted to in the world. You sacrificed everything to try and get love. And I really see you almost like a lovesick teenager in some olden days. Mm-hmm. And so in this life you came in, you don't want to live with any regrets. You don't want to cry over spilt milk. You want to be able to solve problems as they come up. Now this card, when he's right side up, he means I've got all these sticks and I know they make something, but I'm not sure which. When he shows up reversed in my readings, it means I've solved the problem. You've chosen some things very well. The only thing that's kind of the fly in the ointment is I think you had some problems with your father when you were younger, and that's made sometimes making adult choices about romance and where to put your love a little difficult. But now that you know that he's there, you can sort of say, bye, Daddy, what you're saying.
I got beneath the surface, hidden truth and something unknown.
Okay. Yeah. Let's see what we can find instead of Dad.
Yep. And that communal living.
Mm-hmm. What I found, I picked another card to replace it because I threw Dad out. Mm-hmm. You have the right to have an emotional King of Cups come into your life if he's not already there. That's good for you. Okay? And on that lovely reading, we will close.
Thank you, everyone, for all of the lovely comments that you put in over the chat. It took us a long time, but we knocked that one out of the park. 34 or 33 questions, whatever it was, in an hour and 43 minutes. Thank you, Nancy Jean.
Okay, I'm going to end this broadcast because I really want to get out of here. Bye.
Bye.